just think I just think it's dead. In Atlanta being a major market too, and it ain't busy like that. Yeah, I just think it ran its course. It ran its course. Hey, oh, somebody already jumped on my live stream. Hey, what's up? I don't know. Who knows what's going on? Hey, Avon. Everybody jumping on in now. I would say, would you jump on in, but you probably you ain't probably subscribed to my channel, or you just or you never subscribed. Yeah, that's true. I haven't been on in a while. All right, I'm putting. You could contribute to my discussion, but I'm gonna be on here. I ain't going to Domino's. I got the Domino's shirt on and everything. I don't think I'm gonna do it tonight. I'm just gonna go to the supermarket, buy these things for lunch. Oh yeah, you gotta have to start your be there tomorrow too. What time you supposed to be there? Noon. Monique. Hey everyone. Oh, I was talking to one of my subscribers that lives here in the Metro Atlanta area. Hey Avon, hey Living. What life are you? Lapon. You know what? I don't know why I keep not your pronouncing your name right. Because it's life are you Lavon. That's how I see it. So anyways, how y'all been doing? I know it's been a minute or been a while since I've been on YouTube live streaming. So I'm here, at my usual place at Chick-fil-A. And you can see I got this shirt on. And I'm supposed to be working today. Well, tonight. I'm supposed to be there at 5 o'clock, from 5 to whatever. But I wasn't really put on the schedule for today. So I said, they don't know if it's going to be busy. So I said, you know what, let me just stay home. I don't feel like doing anything. But I'll be here in a minute because Chick-fil-A closed at 8 o'clock tonight because of Labor Day. But since I've been sitting here, I have watched 5 or 6 people, about 6, 7 people came in to Chick-fil-A to pick up DoorDash. So I said it's been busy with that thing, Chick-fil-A. So everybody been ordering the Chick-fil-A for deliveries. So what y'all been up to? Avon, who else is on here? It says 4 people. But anyway, let me see. DoorDash is always busy at Chick-fil-A. Hey, Monique. Well, they got to 8 o'clock, so pretty much 8 o'clock come. Anybody want to order DoorDash? If they don't know that Chick-fil-A closes at 8 o'clock today, then they got about 2.5 hours to go to place an order. But anywho, let me tell you, is the gig economy dead? And what? Unable to connect to chat. What's wrong with this? Tell me if y'all can hear me now because this came up something wrong with the chat. Unable to connect to chat. Please try again later. What? Well, let me tell you. In my opinion, I think the gig economy is has ran its course in regards to like Uber, Lyft, and these food delivery apps because um, a lot of these small restaurants or small private restaurants, they were the main customers that these apps were using for their delivery service. Since then, the app allows other companies to develop their own app system and they hiring drivers to deliver their own food. Now, as I mentioned to y'all before, DoorDash has its own food delivery service. Now, I haven't seen too many people um, at this particular location. I haven't seen too many drivers go out to deliver the food, but I think it's probably because they have way too many young people, and a lot of them don't have a car. They're too young, really, to my opinion, that they even have a car to do it, for one thing. And then, two, it hasn't really caught on yet. Now, it's going to catch on pretty soon. It will catch on pretty soon, I can tell you that. But in regards to the gig app, the gig work, I don't think it's I don't think it's not as busy like it used to be. You know, I remember one time 3 years ago, because it's been 3 years ago since I've done these apps. I did it 3 years. It's been 3 years to the month. And when I used to do all these other apps, Grubhub and Uber Eats and DoorDash and Instacart, at one point you could easily make 700 something bucks in a week's time doing about 40 hours a week. And you didn't even have to do 40 hours. I was doing anywhere between 35, 36 hours. And, you know, and, you could make a good, decent amount of money. And you didn't have to work 60, 70 hours to make that. But now, I think that with so many restaurants not really signing up to these apps because you had to pay a high percentage, 30, 40% of your revenues. A lot of these restaurants that were the primary customers of these companies when they first came out, it was very busy, you know. But now they focusing on a lot of these fast food restaurants, Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, Burger King, Yuck Burgers, as I like to call them, Yuck Burgers. I don't care what anybody say, Yuck Burgers, and Captain D's. They using the service, but it's not busy. It ain't busy like it used to be. Now Chick-fil-A, you know, it's popping at this location, and a lot of people started ordering it, but a lot of people really don't want to go through these long lines with Chick-fil-A, and for whatever reason, I guess people will continue to do that with Chick-fil-A, but it just depends on the area. But it's overall, these gig jobs is not as popular like it used to be. And another reason I see that it's not as popular because I don't see that many YouTubers talking about it. Now tell me if y'all agree with me. I don't know if y'all can. I don't know why this thing says unable to connect to chat. Please try again later. Ugh. I hope y'all can still see me. But as for the What I'm trying to say, these days kids are distracting me. This big ass girl, she's a teenager. She's the mama, yelling and screaming and carrying on about stop that, you pay to play, let them play, get out of that playroom. Your ass do not need to be in there. You know, I would turn this around, but I'm not. They're like, I don't know, they're not Muslim. I don't know where they're from. They look like they're from Somalia. I think they're from Somalia. And pretty much the the older siblings, they usually like 13, 14 maybe. They watch over the younger siblings and they take this attitude of like they're the parent, you know. So she been in here yelling and screaming all day. I've been here for a couple of hours now. But sometimes children need to be like children, you know. I know you 14, 15, but sometimes you don't need to be, don't be the mama. But even though the mother or parent ain't saying much of anything, I guess they teach them at a young age how to rear children. So they teach them very early on responsibilities, you know. But anywho, not to talk about that. So these gig jobs, I think, is dying down, you know. I think that most of these companies, you know, they got all that money from the investors. It's time for them to pay up. And you can tell that a lot of these companies are not really going to sustain itself much longer because DoorDash and what's that other company that's up there that people talk about in California? DoorDash and what's that other company called? Y'all know who I'm talking about. It'll come to me. I can't think of it. DoorDash. Well, whoever it is, it was that other company they merged a couple months ago. Dang it, what's that company called? I wish this chat room was working. Let me see. Let me look. Nah. Begin with a C. DoorDash merger. Caviar. That's who I'm thinking of. Caviar. So Caviar, DoorDash. DoorDash bought Caviar, and therefore eliminating maybe one of the major contributors in food delivery, at least in the West Coast, because I heard at one time Caviar was in Atlanta years ago, but I've never seen it. But someone told me, and I saw a sign on some restaurants I went to that Caviar was there. So, with that being said, what other major changes is going to happen? Because we're supposed to be going, entering a recession soon, maybe next year to 2020 or maybe 2021. But a recession will happen in cycles. A recession is part of the economy. A recession is basically going to happen, and I think a lot of these major companies and these food apps, they are going to, with the gig jobs, it's going to be affected because one, a recession corrects the market. So all this, people need to realize during a recession, a lot of these .com, a lot of these tech companies, they just gonna go bust. And a lot of companies will start to merge. Grubhub, it's been a publicly traded company. They losing millions of dollars. Most definitely Uber is losing millions and billions of dollars. But they still working on borrowed money, put it that way. And when you're working on borrowed money, which I mean by that, angel funds and investors, they invest their money to get it back, to get back their return in 5 years or so. 5, 6 years, that's when they expect their dividends to come back in return. Now, unfortunately, the Uber Lyft stocks has not been doing well. They overpriced the stocks, they overpriced the market. And some people, I've heard some videos speaking of following behind other people who don't have no sense of business, speak about um, Uber gonna be around forever and this and that. I'm like, no, it won't. And ain't nobody investing in no flying cars. And any flying cars that's gonna happen ain't gonna happen in our lifetime. It ain't gonna happen in my lifetime. Put it that way. It may happen in my niece's, grand nieces, well, grand nieces and grand nephews, and they 3 years old. See that, but it ain't gonna happen in my lifetime. It ain't gonna happen in your lifetime and most of our lifetimes. But in regards to Uber investing and this and that, and they gonna be around? No, they not. No, they will not. And food app deliveries and food service and how we see it being done now just will not be there. It just won't. It just will not be there. But let me go. I'm gonna be back. Let me speak to these people at this dying counter real momentarily. Hold on, y'all. I'll be back. All right, y'all, I'm back. All right, hold on, y'all. I'll be back in a minute. Let me check something here. I'll call that later. Anywho, so I just think that in looking and evaluating trends of service in terms of the gig economy, the sector of food deliveries, and these major companies, I just think that it's not going to really sustain itself much longer. I think that a lot of these companies like Grubhub and DoorDash, Postmates, they ain't gonna be around too much. I think they're gonna be trying to merge, and I think Amazon is gonna have a big effect on a lot of these services as well. They're the only ones who got the deep pockets to truly buy any of these companies. Just like the wireless industry, you know, a lot of these wireless industries, like T-Mobile bought Sprint, right? And prior to that, T-Mobile had bought Metro PCS. So with Metro PCS and T-Mobile came together, T-Mobile turned around and bought Sprint. Now I worked Sprint for customer service or a third-party company, and for the longest time, you would think that a lot of these companies were inevitable. They were not. They were indispensable, rather, and they were indispensable because who would ever thought that with growth, because Metro PCS, I worked there years ago when they was based out of Dallas, and they were in only 3 states, and they grew to a big company that they were nationwide. Everybody heard of Metro PCS years later, but then Metro PCS turned around, got bought out by T-Mobile, and now T-Mobile bought Sprint. So you're only dealing with basically 3 major carriers with some smaller carriers in between. But a lot of these small carriers are also part of the big 3. Now, food services, on the other hand, people will continue to use the service, but it's not going to be the small mom and pop restaurants that's going to use the service. Some of them may use it to a certain extent, but a lot of major fast food places will then become part of the spectrum of using these food services for a minute until the services become so bad and the reputation begins to decline, like Chick-fil-A. Now, I have never been so disappointed in Chick-fil-A in the last week. Now, some of y'all I spoke to on the phone, and y'all know, but I but even to some extent, these companies using these services and hoping to alleviate problems such as the long delivery lines, and they figured that everybody started to use the app to order food, but that's like millennials, millennials, they starting to do that. Nobody don't want to nobody has a car to get in the car, they order food, they figure it's cheap, but of course prices of food goes up, so the prices is going to be ridiculous. Who wants to pay $16, 12, 13, $14 to order Chick-fil-A when I could pay $6.80 something cent to order the same thing and get it. Now, this you paying for convenience. That's all that is. You're paying for convenience. You know, but how much of this convenience is going to, this people are going to be able to afford? They continue to pay drivers to use your car, run down your vehicle, to pick up food, to deliver to cheap ass people who may not want to tip. You know, And the more they try to expand this deliveries to suburbs where most black folks and people of color live, they're gonna be like, well, I'm already paying $12, so they're not gonna tip. They'll try to tip you $1, $2, or zero. Now, Monique, what we just talked about too. We just talked about this. You know, it gets to a point where you have to say, you know what? Some people say, well, I'm making some good money with DoorDash and da 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 da, blase blase. But then at the same time, you have to pick your areas, be very mindful of your time frame. You know. Hey Jeff, thank you, Giordano. You know, all this driving around and all that kind of crap now, I work at Domino's and I make some pretty good money with Domino's. I'm not, because people have always been ordering pizzas forever, Most people, majority of people tip when you order delivery for pizza. Pizza's cheap. They're not gonna hike the prices up. If it's you added you paying a $2.35 delivery fee, and then you paying $5 to $7 or whatever the pizza is. Unlike the other food apps, you paying a higher price on what the original cost of the food is. Then on top of that, you paying $4 or $5. What are these damn kids doing? Then you paying $4 or $5 delivery fee, which is double than what a delivery fee is if you had ordered pizzas. It's $2.80 something cent or $2.30 something, whatever it is. It's $2 and some change for a delivery fee. A delivery fee for DoorDash and all these other companies, if it's a low order, they charge you a low order fee. Who ever heard of such stupid stuff? You order less. These kids are wild, and I don't know what the hell's wrong with them. Because I mean, yeah, they brothers and sisters. They need to quit. And then when somebody get popped in the face, they want to start crying and carrying it on coming out here. See, and I'm gonna give it 10. I'm gonna give it 10 seconds. Somebody's gonna start crying. I wish I could turn this camera around and show y'all this foolishness to these kids. Yeah, I know you play. You know, a lot of kids play house play rough, but that's ridiculous. That little girl wailing at her little brother like she crazy. And then when somebody gets hit in the face or they fall down, they want to start crying. And they go come running out of here crying. All that rackety noise. Or somebody hit that glass and get hurt. Then somebody want to sue. And then next thing you know, they close down that playground and shut and then just close it in and then take it off. That's why certain places, I think Burger King, one of them don't have a playground at some locations. Man, that's the eighth person who walked in here with a dang DoorDash bag. But anyway, like I said, if we hit a recession, all those little luxuries like ordering food to be delivered at fast food places, that's something people is not going to be using. That's not a necessity. It just won't, it just won't happen. hmm It just won't happen. All right, I'm about to do me some field agent work in a minute. Let me see what they got going on. See what they got. hmm Oh, see what I mean, y'all? I just told y'all. Here we go. Somebody already screaming. See? See? See what I tell y'all? You come wailing and playing and get hit in the face, and then somebody start crying. Next thing you know, somebody's teeth can be knocked out of their mouth. Jesus Christ. See, they gonna start putting limits. They gonna start putting limits. Somebody's gonna fall, bust their little neck, and then next thing you know, that's the end of that. I mean, I don't mind children playing and things like that, but damn, they be playing to the point that they gonna be hurting themselves. Let's see what they see. I just don't feel like doing much of anything today. Tomorrow is nesting. We finish our classroom training at this company I work for. Anybody looking for a job that lives in Atlanta and you're interested and you need a job, um, send me an email, tsmallwood68@gmail.com. They're hiring at my place of employment. I can tell you a little bit more about it in the email. So you live in Atlanta, you're doing these gig jobs, you're tired of driving, you're tired of doing Uber Eats and Grubhub and all the rest of them, or put it this way, you're not making ends meet because these gig jobs has dried up considerably, and you want to go back into the workforce. I would suggest to those who've been doing these gig jobs, and you say, I enjoy the freedom. I don't want to I don't want to work with no boss. I don't want to work. Um, um, I don't want to deal with office politics. Let me tell you, you better deal with that office politics because the recession, if it comes next year, 2020, it will come because the recession it the will correct the market, and it will happen. It is coming. It is part of the progress of any economy as a correction of these overinflated real estate prices and things of that nature. So you better find some job. You better find some W-2, and you better leave these gig economy jobs alone if you're thinking you're gonna make some money. I know some people been making videos talking about um, going back into the job market, but you better go and find something, even if it is a ratchet company like the ones I worked in the past, with Pro hiring, T-Tech hiring, the company I work for, they hiring. It may not pay a lot of money, but trust me, you do not want to rely solely on these gig jobs. I don't care if you have to piece Grubhub, Uber Eats, DoorDash all together. You're not gonna get you're not gonna get too much of those orders like it used to be. Let me tell you, I could tell you the difference 3 years ago, even 2 years ago, made a big difference in my income. The income dropped so much. I was like, damn, I gotta work an extra 20 hours just to see if I could make some extra money. And I've been watching quite a few of y'all videos. Y'all was talking about Grubhub and Uber Eats and Postmates. I made $100. Shit, I haven't heard some of y'all came back on YouTube since. I said, okay, they gonna learn. Y'all gonna learn. That honeymoon stage is gonna end, and when that honeymoon stage is over, y'all gonna see. And trust me, some of y'all ain't want to admit it that y'all took another job with Amazon Flex delivering those packages. Y'all ain't telling that story because y'all were known to offer great tips, and I make $1,400 a month. I mean a week. I make $1,000 a week. I bet you ain't telling that story no more. Now all of a sudden, the story or the narrative was driving around, showing people making deliveries, driving around, getting pings and saying, ooh, this order was $12, $13. Now, you don't see that no more. You can't even tell me that. You can't even tell me that. And please don't keep telling me it depends on the market. Why do these damn kids stop it? They're not even my children that get on my fucking nerves. See, they would have been like, sit your ass down, sit down. We leaving, going home. Dang, they get on my fucking nerves with these faggot ass kids. Ooh, Jesus Christ. I always be regret not having kids and stuff, but dang, when you be watching these other people's kids and they're carrying it on, I mean, stop. They making me damn nervous sitting here watching them. And then parents, they sit up there talking like ain't nothing. They ain't looking at nothing. One child, the other two small kids is working with the bigger sister. They sitting there quiet, playing with the coloring book and the colors. The little things they give you at Chick-fil-A. They be with the the coloring book and the color crayons. The other four kids, one is a big boy. He's bigger than the sign. He's probably what, 8, playing with the other 3. All it takes is one of them to hit their head on that glass, on that floor, and that's it. Dang, make me sick with all that crap. I mean, like I said, I don't mind playing, but when you start doing that, somebody already came out here 3 fucking times crying. He hit me and he got my teeth. Wait for the teeth to knock straight out of their mouth. Mm-mm. In and out, in and out. Sit down. Dang. See, let me tell you why. Let me tell you what's gonna happen. Somebody gonna get their hand caught up in that door, in and out the door, in and out the door. See, that's why stupid accidents be happening, and people be like, "Oh, it was an accident." No, it ain't. Because you watch these kids and stop telling them to learn to sit down. Ain't nothing no stupid gonna happen. Get me off my topic. But anyway, so my opinion is this. It's always great to look for other opportunities and other type of gigs to find, but you have to um, do things that most people are not doing. Now, I'm still doing other gigs. I'm not doing as much like I used to, but I'm starting to notice a lot of people are getting into doing not mystery shopping, but some people do mystery shopping, but you have to be very flexible to do it. I spoke about this in previous videos, and some people have taken advantage of some of the different gigs. So I'm going to, let me see. Wait a minute. Girl, Jim, hey, look at you. We are in the chat. Maybe close this vlog before we start. Thank you, Avon. Let me try this again because I know. All right, I'm going to try this again because I don't know what happened. But thanks, Avon. Let me end the vlog because I know y'all had some comments and something's wrong with the vlog. All right, hold on, y'all.